Good evening. Well, it looks like it's very late today. Still, it's good to start another stream to get into the schedule and not stop. Having weekly coding streams is very important for me. And next week I'm going to have a whole week of home office, so probably I will have more time to stream, so looking forward to that. The other side, tomorrow, maybe I can get up a little bit earlier and just stream. Okay, let me test the microphone. Okay, the microphone is working. Last time my microphone wasn't working. I feel weird today. A lot of stress. I checked all problems and now I still hang in there in the loop. I feel like I'm still stressed out, but I actually don't have anything to be stressed out about. And I just have to keep going with my daily life. Actually, I should be very happy. Yeah. It could be so much worse right now if I wouldn't have attacked all my problems and work and personal life, and I think I'm very lucky that I can actually address all my problems personally, and that I also succeeded in getting some space. I still feel like after a lot of pressure on me, after coding nights, after having to deal with hard people, it's still in there. You feel there were problems that had to be addressed, where I had to speak my heart out, and kind of have to kind of meditate against that or something, to learn tranquility again or something like that. Okay. So last time we were clearing our code, and now I have to look where I left the code. Just a little bit. So now that we tried to reorganize how we do stuff, but I've forgotten pretty much what we did there. So I see we don't have a preview right now. That's not good. So that maybe shouldn't be the first thing that we should attack. Let me just try to draw on this tile map. Yeah, and I don't have a preview. And so the preview is gone. Can I select something? No. So it tells me how many brushes I use. Okay. And then I think it's supposed to then create the preview objects, and it doesn't do that. Okay, I think that's the problem. It's supposed to go in here to this loop, the preview infos, and create all these brushes. Oof. I see what's happening here. So it goes through here, checks if it detects any usage of these brushes, and then creates the object. We have to do the opposite of that. If it doesn't detect any use of that brush, then create an object. Okay, and that pretty much should fix it. It sounds too easy to... That sounded too easy. Okay, now it just doesn't work anymore. Can paint, but it seems to be buggy. There's error, null references thrown. Does this work? It works in single mode. Let's clear the console. Okay, it works flawlessly in single mode. Let's use different time lapse here. Oh, no. There is one sequence contains no elements. So this sometimes is empty when we're drawing. That's not good. Yeah. Also, box fill doesn't work anymore. So we pretty much fucked up here. Okay, so nothing works. Nothing works anymore. So this is now throwing errors, even though it shouldn't. It's throwing warnings. Is it throwing errors? Yeah, it's also... This contains no elements. Sometimes this is thrown, I don't know why. I think it's drawing. And because I said, okay, let's not create an object immediately after destroying one. Let's just do that all in the on-scene function. That's why it's now not working as intended. Okay. I actually see. I have to work with my microphone a little bit. It seems like my microphone is a little bit too loud. Hello. Okay, it seems like it's always in the red zone. It's not overly over the top in the red zone, but last word that I saw, it looks like my microphone is overdoing it a little bit. So That's a big problem. Okay, what problem am I going to attack first? Okay, let's first attack the microphone. I think that's that's faster. Hello. Let's attack the microphone. Okay. Okay, actually I just listened to it and it completely did sound normal. So let me look at my stream. Okay. So it seems that sometimes my microphone is a little bit buggy. It looks... Last thought was my microphone was not working properly. So damn it. Okay, let's get going. wonder why I can still turn this. If I turn the screw, should pretty much fix it in place, the microphone. But I can still move it fairly easy. Okay. Whatever. So. I want a central function for creating these preview objects. And it's supposed to be just on scene view. That's why I really want it to be on scene. But it doesn't work. During scene GUI. Yeah, during the scene view. This is basically an update function. And this is where we just do a lot of stuff. Set up the scene, the previewed object. And there's no way. This is where this is the best method to set it up, because here is where we detect what kind of brush is active. We cannot do this anywhere else. Could make it event based. Can we? Can we even do that? What kind of options do we have? So if the brush changed, we could ask if it is this brush, but what about the tool manager? So we could maybe change this to the entire process. We could try to change the entire process to be event based. Okay. Do I like it? No. Why? Currently, this is easier to read and understand because everything is in one method on scene. If I change this to be event based, I will have multiple methods that I have to listen to, and that will make it easier to construct multiple instances with the same code, and Basically, each method, I would have to basically call another method that is then going to do the same thing over and over again. Yeah. But I think it would be better if I first clean up this code here on scene and create some smaller methods inside of here, because right now it's working. But if you look at the amount of lines in the on-scene function, it's 100 lines, yeah? And while that doesn't seem that much, 100 lines in a method is nothing that is unheard of. It's not what I would like with a central piece of the I don't like this to be in the centerpiece of an asset or a system. Yeah, this is the center part of this system, the on-scene code, and having everything inside of here makes it hard. But what we have to do in on-scene is at least we need this in every regard. We need this on scene to follow the mouse with the preview objects. So we cannot work without it. We cannot work without it. So first thing that I should do is try to create smaller methods here and there. Let me also look if the pick function is still broken. I think it is. Yeah, the pick function is kind of broken again. Oh no, it worked. But then if I draw something in, it's hilarious. Ha 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 ha. Okay. So let's maybe. Okay, so what we will do today is we will just go through this code. We will just go through this code and look at every line and see if we can make them to smaller functions. Yeah. Okay. So first thing is, and it starts with if we are using the picking tool, on values change is false. I got an idea. Instead of doing this here, could go into on validate. So it's still one of those streams where I'm just going to clean up code and nothing interesting will be happening. But I will be happier working with the code, because then I can at least understand the code. Okay, so inside of here, I can just make an if clause. So on validate is the only function that that changes this value. So I can, instead of having this if clause inside of the on scene, I can just check it in on validate. That would be easier. So I can get rid of this line of code. Ooh, already better code. Yeah. So next line of code. Now we have a lot of checks where it basically says if any of these conditions are true, stop. And I think we cannot work without this. If we don't have a tool selected, we don't want to do anything here. But I also don't want to stop assigning this method altogether. That would also be possible, but it would be hardcore event based. So yeah, if I would do this, all of this event based, I would have to trigger an event for all of these different conditions alone, and then trigger this, and make sure that I unassign on during scene GUI. I think the principle for I think in principle event based would be better. But it produces code that is harder to read and to understand, and that's I don't like the angle. I think it's better to have understandable code. So if the grid brush is not this, then we return. I don't understand why we don't do this here. I think that is a thing of the past. Because back then in the day, I was using all different grid brushes as a centerpiece, and then this Boolean could be set to true, and you would still go into inside of the rest of this function. This is gone, so this is a thing of the past. And then we don't need this function here. So less code. Then we catch the mouse position, but we don't actually do anything with this. I mean, not really. Where do we use this? It's here. So I think this should be one down. Here we are starting to initialize things to create preview objects. This year, values changed. Yeah, this is something. These are some extra conditions where we need to destroy all the previews or create new ones. Yeah, let's just not consider that right now. And then it says change preview mode. Let's go into this implementation. And it doesn't even do anything. So right now this doesn't do anything. It would destroy preview objects, but the only instance where it is used, preview objects are already getting destroyed. So let's get rid of this function now. And it's only used in this one case. And let's just set this value. So which one is the serialized field? I think this one is the private one. Let's see. No, it has to be vice versa. And we can just assign this value. So this is a private value, and you can just use this as a check. As a check mark in the inspector, and this will destroy all preview objects. So nothing special here. If we check this toggle in this toggle, the expector, it will destroy the preview objects. Yeah, and then what's supposed to happen is, then it goes through all of this and will create new ones. Okay, good. So, and then all this does, the rest can be made into one method that is going to be named private void setup preview objects. And we just put everything here inside of this function. And look if this is working. Okay, we need the scene camera. I think we just need. Now what we need is we need to plug in this vector 3. Vector 3 mouse world position. And let's rename this to preview objects position. Okay, and now we can call this function whenever we see, okay, we need preview objects and there's none set up. So if we ever get a null reference, we just plug in that method and call it a day and say, hey, good job. Let's make this a little bit easier. Now it will create though that we will reference this method in multiple instances, and then it will be hard to understand where we call this method again and again. So let's go through this and see if this is a bulletproof function. It has to be. So we have these use brushes. And what does this do? This is a list that is going to be set up a list with all used brushes. Yeah? With all brushes that should be previewed. Important is that we go through this loop here and get this out of the time map selection info. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. And then we go through the brushes. Look if all brushes have created preview objects. Yeah, then we check if they all have preview objects. If they don't, we can, by the way, we can just assign vector 3. Oh, we can't. Oh, we can assign vector 30 to this as a default if we don't know the mouse position. Now we know it on scene view, but when we are drawing, and I think it triggers before on scene, and then we don't know the position of the mouse, or we would have to catch the mouse position some weird way. It's going to it's not going to be important. It's not going to be important. And then this just does checks for different cases depending on what kind of time map we are. Has different cases in here, which I don't want to go through now. But I know that these three if else clauses are unavoidable. And then it will create the preview object actually. And then something weird is happening. We check if in the preview object list there have been any any preview objects that have been created, where the object has been created, but the preview is still there. It's a little bit weird though. So I think this already should work if we would delete the preview infos correctly after drawing. Because this is a little bit redundant here. I think because the problem with this function is this basically does the same as this function, but it's less dynamic. It's less dynamic. Let's say it like that, because this function will check for the tilemap selection info reference. Yeah, it will look if there's a reference on the tilemap with information for the brush. This then goes through each preview info and checks if the object has been set up. So I think we have to get rid of this method. I think this is redundant. I think this is bad, because what if in the meantime we change the target? Yeah, then this will still have the old information and just create an object with the wrong information. We don't want that. Then we can just use this for each loop. Okay. So let's get rid of this. Keep this in mind. We have to destroy the whole preview info once we draw it. So let's do that right now. On set cell. Instead of destroy immediate, no, after destroy immediate, what? Okay, I don't understand what we do here. We destroy the object and then we say it's this instance that we have just drawn. What? Okay, and then we go to this function. Okay, that's weird. Okay, I will take a short break and go to the bathroom. Okay, that's a little bit weird what we are doing here. I think we can just destroy the preview info. Okay, let's think about that later. Be right back. Okay, so I think this setup drawn object function is a little bit weird. Why does it have two usages? Set up in the create preview. Okay. 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 Wait, does this call do additional stuff? Yes. So it's redundant that this function is do additional stuff is called here. So it's redundant that this is used here. But instead, let's make sure preview infos that we remove the preview info that has just been drawn. This should get rid of the problem that we still have preview infos in there. It's still don't have an object, and we don't need to create new preview infos, but it's easier. Now we have a central function for that. Let's just try out if this works better. We didn't do anything, but do structural changes. Now it still seems to work normally. And there's an error here. This gets thrown sometimes. Look at the group function. And sometimes it says it has no elements. Oh, my cat is lying on the floor and making cute noises. She's just a cutie. But whatever. Yeah, now we get inside of this line of code. Set up random parameters. When is this called? Here, in paint cell, I really hate how, come on, paint cell, where's this used? It's used in different scenarios, but it's used in it's done in box fill. Okay, let's see where box fill is used. It's used in the paint function. I think box fill is the first instance where you use the preview objects. Is that correct? Yeah, there's move end. Yeah, okay, so box fill. It's really not easy to track the code here, because this is pretty much how Unity does it, and I have no control over this. But it's sometimes a little bit hard to track what's happening here. So before we do anything with the preview infos, we have to make sure that they are set up preview objects. Yeah. So this should check again if they have been set up correctly, and if they aren't, set them up. Let's see if it just immediately works now. And if I'm right or not. No! God damn it! Still get null references. Ah, come on. Let's clear and see if we got rid of the error here. This error is gone now. So this was throwing an error because I think sometimes it's calling the draw function before it actually has set a called on scene. But unfortunately, with time group, it's a case where it is still not set up correctly. So that's unfortunate. And I see the cell is sometimes not set up. So let's track the code. So it was in paint cell. And with paint cell, that's kind of weird. Because there the preview object should already have been set up. So let's look at the function that called this. So it did go through the erase function? No, 487, yeah, and then it called box fill. That's damn, that is annoying. Yeah, damn, that's annoying. Yeah. Okay, so 571. So did go through this and then stopped inside of this function. So what is happening here? So box fill is also not a hard huge function here, but where are these brush classes coming from? Where are they coming from? Seriously, where are these brush classes coming from? Nani? And they're coming out of this function. Get timed group. Rush target. Why do we need that? So, okay, we just assume it finds the correspondent game object brush. It's bugged right now only for group mode, so. So it has a brush class. Yeah, okay. And then it does this search function for the preview info. It looks if the time selection info reference is the same. Okay. What if it doesn't find it? Yeah. Let's debug log. Review info? Something about that. Let's just see what happens now. If it's null, it's going to... we have to... Maybe we should paint something, debug log something specific. But it looks like it did find the function there, so... I also want to see why am I debugging this that dot that's on grid. Okay, get grid. Let's not look at this for now. And also let's not display this warning. Because it looks like this is sometimes warned in a case. We got this warning in a case where it wasn't was not a problem that we could not identify the brush target. Let's do that later. Let's fix that later. Let's now go into the box fill function and try to find out what's happening there. So paint cell is sometimes having problems with that preview info, but the preview info seems to be completely right. Seems to be completely normal. So. Go to paint cell. So let's see if there's a here we can't get the cell on the side of the preview info. Okay, now let's see if there's how we create the preview info cell. Okay, and there's no other reference to it. Okay. And now we have to find again where we create the preview object, which is the create preview object function. And there's this pick brush cell function. So we're still jumping. I mean, could it be that this is should be length -1? But then this error should be thrown also in this mode. And it never is thrown inside of this mode. And no matter how many objects I draw, it's not throwing any errors. And there's the error thrown. And I think I just want to throw this error when we are using the picker. So here we have to look at the tool manager dot active tool type. Is picker. Let's see. Oh, type of. Okay. Where are we? Okay, this is so much code. Is type of picking tool. Only in this case we want to throw this warning, because then we can't get the grid. Yeah, and then it will just say cannot get grid. Because the scene basically has no grid. Yeah, it works. It works when we are picking normally on grids, but without grids, we might we might get a function for this. So this is kind of a to-do, but we are at a whole different bug right now. So this cell sometimes is buggy. In group mode. Right now, if I say paint a time map group will and this is not working as intended. So we have to look if the cell has been set up. What the hell is going on here? Why does it not have a cell? So it works in create preview object every time. It's just when we use the box fill function. Why? It's kind of weird. So I don't know what this is supposed to do. What? What is this doing? Oh, yeah. This checks if there's already an object inside of the cell. Okay. Let's see what this does. But this shouldn't do anything spectacular. I think it's just a check, but let's make sure that it doesn't do anything weird. No. This doesn't do anything weird. Let's look at the trace. 570. So those two errors are the same. So here the box fill was called. It sets up the preview objects, and then it's going to use one of the found preview infos, and that one has a problem with the cell, and I don't know why. And it's also so weird. Sometimes it does draw completely fine, and then it doesn't. It's in disabled draw chance mode. Then it seems to work quite normal. So let's see if this is maybe a specific brush here. Maybe this is not the fault of the group function. Maybe this is a very specific brush. It always throws this error. Maybe there's a brush that is not set up correctly. That would explain it. The brush. Oh no, that's... was also using that mode. No, it's only if we use this mode here, then we have this problem. So let's look into the cell again. Maybe we do something weird when we pick the cell. Maybe we look into the wrong brush or something. Hmm. Hmm. So now the question is, do we plug in this cell correctly? So there's this cell. Looks pretty legit, to be honest. We only also go with this setup random parameters. I don't see why we lose this cell. Maybe here. Not really. Okay, let's maybe just track it. Let's just track it because I'm pretty much out of ideas. Let's just try to track the noob way. Let's just do it the noob way. I'm too dumb for this stuff. Let's just say I'm too dumb for this. There's something weird though here. We use these brush classes. We don't need that. We actually don't need these brush classes anymore. Absolutely don't need them. Let's get rid of this list. Yeah. Because we don't need another list with all the object that we are going to paint in. We can just use the preview info list that we have and get this out of the preview infos. We don't need anything else. We don't need to look for anything. Then just use the preview info and do what we actually want to do. And we avoid this double structure. It just makes the code much simpler. I think the old way looked a little bit like I was confused there. And we still have the bug, so that it didn't fix anything. And it still works. It still works just as fine. But at least we know now. We know nothing. We know nothing. So how does paint cell work? Let's just maybe look at that. Paint cell. What does it even do? So there's 3 parameters. The grid layout, the location, and the preview info. What is the location? Oh, it's a vector free int. So I guess none of them could break. And then the cell is just not there. Let's look if the cell is actually there. Let's see if this is throwing null. It is not throwing null. So the cell is actually there. Okay, let's see if this also has a cell game object. Yeah, it has. It always has a game object. Okay, then what the fuck is the problem? What's even the problem here? So it modifies itself. Oh, so we need to copy the preview infos and work with the copy here. Because paint cell is going to change how it is drawing. Inside of the structure here, we're going to delete parts of preview info during this loop. In the end, this will delete preview infos, and this is not allowed during this process. So You have to work with a copy. Let's just do it. Let's just do it and see what happens. Let's just see what happens. So we're working with the copy here. And now it works. Okay, it just starts working now. I think it's not setting up the it's not using the setup function correctly, because the objects in the background, they're pretty much they should be darker. We once had this. We once had this, but except this works flawless. Yeah. It's very useful. Just looks like already in the preview it's not correctly set up. So let's look into setup preview object. It's going to create and then set up drawn object. For some reason the drawn this setup drawn object doesn't do anything for some reason. And for some reason also the error that we had with the cell disappeared. And I never understand where this error was coming from. But just using better clean code, which is easier to track, fixed a lot of our issues here. So I think this is the lection for today. Just clean up everything and maybe we will end up with better code. If you work with if you just clean up your code and things fix themselves. That's the lection. Oh. Let's go on. Yeah, so for some reason this function doesn't work in group mode. Why though? Why? I don't understand. So either this is... Let's see. Use wet. No, it's ignoring what we did set here. It's completely ignoring our setting here. We're using our white color and it just ignores us. What if we change the scale here? It also ignores that we changed the scale. Yeah. Okay, so the function just doesn't work anymore. I think it's using the settings from the reference. And here they appear to be darker. So that's pretty much foolproof what we're doing here. Pretty foolproof what we are doing. Let's just debug log if this is debug.log. If this is setting the color. It looks very foolproof. Very hard to break. I don't really know why this is setting color. Okay, now it's setting the color. Clear this. And it set the color 5 times. But it always used the color setting from this brush. And it's not. It's weird. Something is overwriting this color. Also, something's bugging me. If we change the color, so if we change the color, see, it does destroy the objects then. Okay, so onValidate is called. So also when we change the scale here to 3, yeah, it's reinitializing itself. It just doesn't use the correct scale for some reason. So what is it using then as a scale? What is going on here? So as we can see here, in this setup random parameters, it's not actually using the settings from the preview object. Yeah, so we have to make sure to use the brush settings here each time. So we do. And I think previously this was actually done by each brush, and now it's not. Now it's done by one brush alone. Okay. And that, I think that's also the case with the color, yeah. Also inside of here, we have to actually use the preview info brush settings every time. But here it seems to be set up correctly. So it looks like this color is not set up correctly for the preview info. That's a problem. So why don't we use the brush settings here? It's because we can't. The brush is unique. But it could be used multiple times. So there's just one brush, but it could be used 5 times. But each time we want another color. So we can't use the same color setting from the same brush. It won't work. Except if we set it each time, which is kind of weird. Mm-hmm. I think we don't need the random parameters here, so we can do it over there. Still, what do we do here? So there's 2 cases. So if we might want to use the brush here. If the brush is this brush, then we want to use the settings from this. And we don't use the and we don't use the group timer mode, yeah. And then we can altogether just say, if we are not using the group mode, just use the color that has been that is used in the brush. So this should be like this. And there's still one instance. Okay. Where this was throwing an error. Okay, let's go and look at this function. And it doesn't seem to work correctly. Still. Now it picks this color in single mode, so it's working then. In that case, it's working correctly, but it's not working correctly anymore. In group mode, it's just completely ignoring the color settings. And now it's everything is bright. It's always using the same. It's always using the same color settings. But why? That would mean that there's always the same time selection info inside of that. Okay. So they all have the same time-up color, but why? This would mean the time-up selection info reference is always the same. Yeah? So let's see where we create it. We create them. And here it already gets the... this brush tuple. And puts it inside. Okay, so we have to look where we use this function. Let's see again where this is used. What is this? This isn't pixel. Yeah, okay. So we don't use pixel right at the moment. So we can just ignore that for now. And look where we get this time-up selection info. And it's the same every time. Yep, that's basically the problem. So we could change this use brushes to be a list of a tuple, and in this case I actually think it's not a bad idea, and then I already have the time-up selection reference inside. But there's a huge but. That's a huge but. And I have no idea what to do with it. Sometimes we don't have this related time map. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Let's simplify this process and just because in this for each loop we add the brush base, but let's also use let's make this a tuple. Yeah, and just add what we need here. Now we have to see how we add them to the list. So in this, there's two cases. And first one is this one. And now we have set up the used brushes to be Oh, come on. Oh, let's use... This is a different kind of tuple. Ah, I hate tuples. Never use them again. Now I've also forgotten how to actually write tuples. Is that correct? Yeah, so this is a tuple, and this is a tuple, but for some weird reason, it has to be declared differently, and that's why I think tuples are kind of bullshit. Okay, so we simplified this, and now we always get the correct time of selection reference. Now I don't expect this to immediately work. But previously we didn't get the correct reference. And it works. It works. It just works. Let's make this worked. Yeah, no, it's wet. Kind of. Some of these objects come out of as kind of not very reddish. With the group mode, it does not use the override colors. I think that's it's kind of weird. And then it uses the time of selection info, and I think this is how it's supposed to work. And yeah, you could argue a lot about that it shouldn't then still use this color, but it doesn't. I'm not sure. I think this is a huge improvement over what we had. Let's actually use that dynamic reference point. Look if it's still working with that. Yeah, it's also correctly working. Working with rotation. Okay, that's good. So this is fine. But what now? What now? Now we can keep working on the brush pick function. Okay, so I think this is something that we will do tomorrow, because I'm quite happy with the result for today. Now it doesn't seem like we did a lot. Yeah. Oh yeah, we can't use the group function if we are using depending on the timer that doesn't have a group. Yeah, so then this doesn't do anything. It's code, so yeah. So nothing to add so far. So next time we will take the pick function and fix that. Because right now, the only thing that is not working correctly is the pick function. Is the erase function working? And that is working. So only the pick function is left. We're on different time maps here. It's also a little bit laggy. I might look into that. Looks like that could be better. So I have to make sure that if it resets its size, it sets the offset to 0. And we are drawing with an offset. It's not what I want. And the objects are previewed at a different location as where they're drawn in. So I'm very happy with all these changes. Let's push this to Git as a safety commit, and then call it today. So let's look at the Unity project's bloody lane. So we can. Does it has? I don't know. I don't really understand the message. Let's just commit. Let's just commit and call it a day. And I can't commit. Git. Oh, now I can commit. Minus add. Clean up. Wash code. And really, this all we did. This code was working once, and then I did the pick function and was like, oh, okay, now it's just too complicated. I don't understand what I'm doing here. Let's just clean up all this bullshit here and make it this into an easy let's fix the schedule. Let's fix where things are called. Let's make everything just being called once and stop referencing the same methods on too many different occasions. Let's just try to make us least many calls as we can. And I think we did that. And next time we can maybe pick up a little bit of pace because of that, because that was the main problem. I was sitting there like, oh shit, what the hell is it? What the hell is all of this? It was working. I got everything to work, but once I started to use the pick function, and there was a lot of stuff with the pick function that I didn't see coming that would go wrong and demand that I have a very clean process. I was just completely confused by my own code there, so I guess that tells a lot of the story. So, okay, we pushed. Let's go. Thank you for watching so far. Today was a beautiful, good day of cleaning up code. We just did that, cleaned it up, made an easier to read, easier to use, easier to debug and to use and to work with code. And that is the beauty of just cleaning up your own stuff and keep working, bashing your head against the wall. The same thing that I've been doing for a lot of time now, but this time really felt like a breakthrough just in the cleaning up department, where I think now the references are a lot less than what we used to have. That means that's it for today. See you, goodbye, and have a wonderful good night. See you tomorrow, I'll be back, and until then, enjoy yourself. Bye.